Comrades, it's Premier Rever, and we are on a fine day of Neuve Revergrad, a proud moment for our esteemed country. It only took us to 2017 to say that I think we have everything in place, as you probably know from the title already, to make RevTech autos a reality. There's quite a few things to do to really make this happen. Obviously, I think we could just start purchasing all of the stuff we need. I did go along, well, I did a bunch of things in between the episodes. First of all, we got this done. I was really just waiting. You can see the rail construction crane is still out here, just having completed more or less. I think he had to go and do this little section. Or no, is he? No, that's right. Well, I'm not sure what that guy's doing. No, you know what? I kind of forget because I actually did all this pre-recording yesterday. Took quite a while, 2 or 3 hours, I think. We still have this one little section of rail, which I don't even think is that necessary. If you look at it, but I did want to complete it before we got a bunch of other trains and started making these two-way signals. We also have this, which I'm thinking of. I was thinking of completing this as well, but then I said, you know what? I probably could do that from over here. So to give you an idea how long I played, it was enough. These other guys have been just chugging away like they were in the last episode. And they've made it all the way over to here. Remember when I don't know, you guys, if those that you really follow closely, you'll know I said, let me turn these guys around and keep them focused over here. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I stopped the time for the sake of getting the video started. So a lot of this is ready to go. You can see I'm actually in the process now, or we are in the process now of getting all of these electrified. So like this guy, yeah. We're having problems with our steel supply and other things, but so, and these, if you look over here, oops, not the covered hall, click on that. Yeah, like we don't have any prefab panels over here. The prefab panel truck has a hard time keeping up, so probably just need to take a deep breath over this, and but we will come back over here and keep assigning. Otherwise, they go out with nothing in them almost, and they do some little tiny bit. So anyway, if you guys auto build a lot, you know what I'm saying. So I want to get this electrified so that we can just call it done and then get these guys working on getting our oil possible to drop off. We still have a bunch of construction here to do. What else did I do? Well, this is not done yet, but I think we definitely need to go through one more time, but I got a lot of these conveyors done, all of which kind of caused a backup of steel. So if we take a look, I'd still have, well, we have 2 trucks sitting here right this minute, but we didn't have any iron. So I took the train that was dropping people off here, which might be this one right there. And no, that's not this one, it's this one, I think. Yeah. And I added this other stop. They just had each train go into each place, and this guy just wasn't getting enough workers, but this was getting tons. Now, at this point, he's only dropping 15 people, but you can see he's now dropping 69% of his people off here. So that's keeping us in a lot more iron. I definitely think you're better off keeping your iron processor full and having a few less people. We have enough people. Well, that one's not included because it's not. We have enough people, generally speaking, at the processing plant, which requires a lot less than this iron ore mine. But once I did that, I think we're really increasing the amount of steel that we're making, or at least when we do get people here in at the steel, and we need more, at least at that point, we've got iron for them to work on. So the coal hasn't really been a problem. Looks like the train left to go get refilled, so we're in pretty good shape with that. The other thing to point out, it's climbed back up relatively quickly, is that I built. By the way, the lag didn't happen at all when I didn't have my recording equipment on. So, yeah, it's like normally I plan on recording that day, so I would always start up the recording equipment and then start the game. But since yesterday I didn't intend to actually record, I knew I just had enough time to play forward. I didn't bother turning it on, and then I didn't have these, like that spike in lag where you see that. So it's certainly a combination of the recording. So I think we're still getting close to the max that I can record. Not much point in going on as far as YouTube's concerned if I can't record. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's causing it exactly. There might be something I could do with the recording equipment to extend things, but in any event, I built enough houses in here since the last episode. They went up pretty quickly once all the roads were done, which I think was mostly done in the last episode, of course. So I took it to, we had very few plus 21s. So the other thing is I really should have, I like the option of get citizens, but it's also a bit annoying when you get citizens you don't necessarily intend to. So for example, I didn't get any citizens. I'm not going to build any of these houses because we really can't have people moving in here. And I don't feel like fighting with them and trying to shove them all back into other houses, other places, especially if they're coming from plus 21 places. You know, might be hard to get rid of them. So in any event, I kind of put a stop to building houses. And we're running out of steel. So that was another issue. I know you guys have heard me say that 70 times at least in these episodes. But so we'll see. I'm going to try to do my best to make sure I'll probably just build one house, make sure they get satisfied. But I really also need to build this railroad track and finish this up. And we need to get this inner loop, the one that takes them to the cities going. And at some point, we probably need to get down into here and get this built. So I did put in like a road where they can come over here. Yeah, so I think these people, as soon as they get their school, should be reasonably more happier. We'll see. You have to keep an eye on that. Again, they got sucked in because of the thing, and I probably could have sent them, but yeah, in any event. So we have fewer, our population now, for those of you that are curious, is 37,000, 20,000 workers with 4,000 unemployed. So we're going to take care of at least some of the unemployed over here, I hope, in a minute. And let me just go down my list. I stopped doing construction on anything down here that would involve steel. So I just finished up the buildings that were. I didn't reschedule any of the trains to build more tracks. And I've just been going around and giving these guys more road projects. Same thing with over here, though I think now that we've got the bulk of we've got the most of our steel use done. So I could probably come over here. Oops. No, I'm going to try to build this gas station, but I don't know that we have power. But I think if I build it, it won't hurt anything. So there we go. So eventually we'll get that ramped back up, but let's spend some money. Speaking of spending money, in order to keep all of this going over here, I did start to purchase. Oops. If you look in here, I put this on purchase steel to give you an idea of like how little steel we have. So we definitely need to keep working on this. If any of you doubted me, and I'm sure you did not doubt your premier of your grand country. So we will get this ramped up as we get more and more people. In the meantime, though, I would like to take one of these trains, and we will, at the price of doing construction, they both have the same exact route. So what I want to do is switch this guy's route, so he'll go from the steel mill. And we'll do this with each of the things. We'll try to figure out what we can do best to get stuff up here. If we can even get stuff up here. Oh, I can't delete all of them. Yeah, so let's add a new one. We'll add it after this one to go to here. Now I also, let's get rid of this one. Unload steel. But I want to do one other thing if we can. First time ever. I don't really think it matters. But if things get busy, I really wouldn't mind the idea. Let me put this guy to the side for a second, of using a waypoint. If nothing else, is a bit of an experiment, but can we put one in, like, say, right here? And then if I were to put one in right here, and then while we got the button out, can I move these a little bit closer? Yeah, and this is gonna need to be See, the problem is I don't know if they're all going to fit in there that well. Yeah, this would definitely need to be... Yeah, we have a lot of track changing to do. Can I get... Okay, I can get one in here. No, I can't get one in there. Oh, wait. That's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's get rid of it before I crash the game. Well, really, do I even need this signal? I don't necessarily think I do. We might be better off without it, especially in this case where they're really close. So what we do want to do is, you know, anytime you go in, that should be a chain signal. This should be a chain signal in. This can be, well, we can get rid of these. Yeah, let's move them a little bit closer if we can, since we're doing... So chain signal in. Chain signal in. Regular one out. All right. Now another thing I like to do is let's come up to here. Now I may just cut it because I need to do this. See how I just got rid of those extra nodes? Like we could do the same thing here. I'm not sure if that's helping that much, but you can't tell me that it's going to hurt the computer's calculating if you don't have more of these rail nodes here. So whatever, or not whenever, but often when I see these things, I've been just trying to get rid of them. So there we go. So we have waypoints, and yeah, you know what, before I forget, let's signal this guy in a, well, he's a little bit cleaner. Now, are the signals here right? Let's make sure that they're right. Yeah, I mean, they're green at this moment. I'm hoping that, let's just see how this works out when we get a train in here. That would need to be two-way. Yeah, you know what? We're going to get rid of all of these. They were really just plopped in for construction. I want to move them closer. No reason not to. Chain in. Chain in. And regular out. Yeah, that's annoying when they... It's a little bit hard sometimes to get it to... go right where you want it when it's in the track in the middle, because it auto goes to the next one. So there we go. So that's, see, like, but then here you could do, autosave scared me for a second. Yeah, and then there's things like this. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot to be done here as far as, yeah, let's just get rid of all of these. And then let's just get rid of all of these, those two anyway. All right, so we got rid of, see, like all kinds of little extra nodes I ended up creating. I'm going to get rid of, as long as there's a train not on the track, it'll reset that piece of track. Again, I just don't think it can hurt. All right, so now we have a regular signal. So anything coming off of this one, can I get one in there? Yeah, I think I can. Oh, see that right there? Oh, that would be a chain after all of that. Oh, no. Sorry. Right, and then this one, and then this one, you know what I may do, just so that it doesn't become too much of a cluster right there, let's do that, right? So they're going to have some green signal coming into here. And then I think I would do the same thing going out. Yeah, there's no... Right, that one goes out. It's hard to keep track of which one's which. That one goes out. And that one goes out. And this can be all the way up here. Yeah, well, too bad. Now the thing that we would do here is put a regular signal. Yeah, I would think that should work. As far as this track goes, well, we probably definitely. I don't want to change that too much. Let's just, for the sake of maybe getting rid of them in the future, I'm just going to place down just a few more signals. Yeah, whoa. Make sure that at least one of these signals is one way, even though I know that is R2. So that way they're going to be forced to go the way we want them, even though much of the track is technically two-way track. All right, since I'll come back and redo these most likely. Do this. Go. All right, so that's 2 done. Let me just pause and, well, should I pause or should I just do this other one? We'll leave this that way. Yeah, let me just pause and then I'll just double check and I'll just finish up just for the sake of the length of the video. We're already 16 minutes in and I haven't set a train to anything. And the other thing I'm going to probably do is just figure out which other trains need to go to where and do things like this. Like just say, okay, you know, put it all on steel to start out. And then do we really want that much steel here? Probably not. I think I'll cut it down to about, you know, 500 is going to be plenty of extra, because consider that we have a steel thing here, so we don't need $70 million worth of steel just sitting over in this one area. So let me pause it for a minute and finish straightening out these tracks, and then I'll just set each one of these to one of the things that are needed in here. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I think I'm kind of done, but there's going to be a couple problems here. And one of the problems is when you have a situation like this, where you have a chain signal and there's, you know, this is a block, right? Because it's separated by 2 signals. But a train could get into here and stop at this signal and end up sticking its butt into the middle of here because it's just too short of a distance. So I'm going to make this a chain signal as well. So both of these chain signals will have to be clear in order for this one to clear for a train to go on that particular path. So, yeah. So in other words, a lot of things will have to clear, but the other thing like this is a bit of a problem here because it could get into there but not have any place to go, and that might jam up a train coming in this way. So we want this to be so this will be like a triple chain signal here, where it's waiting for this one to clear before it lets the train go from here to here, but that'll stop them from backing up this one. So we just want to take a look. Now the other thing is some of these stretches are pretty long. We could probably put a signal in between, but since we're going to have so few trains to get started, I'm not going to worry about that. And you know, if you say, well, why isn't that a problem here? It's because, well, when they're on their way out, it's okay, right? Because this one won't let them in if this one's red, so forth and so on, and then this one will let them out. So it should work out here, even though that's a short block. But I got the things here. I got each of the things holding what they will. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time we looked, none of the cars need electronics, so we're not going to set up the electronics. So just for the sake of it, I put it down here by the track that will eventually maybe get our finished cars if we experiment with taking them by train. So this will be a finished car lot, and then, thank you, save game. And then this will be the electronics themselves. So there we go. So I think, you know, I'm sure we're going to have problems. You know, we'd have a little crossing going on here, kind of a strange one, to get back out on the right track, but I think this should all be signaled pretty well. So now the thing I want to do, especially before this guy gets going, is say, I want you to go to this waypoint. Hey, it's just called waypoint. I kind of wish they had names on the waypoints, like I said in another video, but there we go. So that should be our steel train. And that should force him onto this track. So we'll just, not sure that that's 100% necessary, but to get started, we're only going to have one train at the most going to each one. So let's go, speaking of which, let's go see. I put all the ones, well, we're not going to bring crops here. Let's put it that way. So I cut all these down to about 50%. Now fabric. Yeah, fabric. I don't even think it's worth, because we're not making enough clothing. Let's go all the way over here. And if you think that I don't plan, there you go. Look, we got this whole big fabric thing and clothing thing planned because I knew we would need it for that. And I knew we're just not even making enough clothing to satisfy our population. So I really don't see any point in us even bringing trucks from our fabric factory here. Maybe you could argue that it's the clothing that's holding up the works, but you know, I don't think it is. Like as they use it, there's nothing in storage here. They're just sort of sucking it right out. Not the greatest thing. You know, to get trucks set up to go all the way across the map, I think it's just better in that case if we come into here for now and purchase a bit of fabric for each one of these. It's going to be expensive, but you know, it's until we get that fabric area and a train going, I just sort of think this is the best thing to do. All right, so we're going to approve that. Now we may end up coming back in here. Don't approve it until you select the buy fabric. And then we'll do the same thing here, of course. And then one day when we ramp that up, but we're not going to let that stop us from making our first car today. Okay, so now let's go down the list here. So we're not going to have fabric. We're not going to worry about a train here, but everything should be set up. The next thing we have is electrical components. And we only have one train, and I think this is going to be a bit painful. Oh, look, he's on his route. So we're not exporting any of the electrical components. And this should be our train for that. And what I want him to do, yeah, see, we're not exporting. We're just going to the different distributions that we have. So really, actually, when you leave here, say, look, we really haven't even used that many. Let's come from Electronville Warehouse. The first stop you're going to make is going to be here. Eventually, if we ramp things up more, and then yeah, actually that'll work out. That should be a waypoint. Yep. So I want you to go to that waypoint, and then I want you to go to that RevTac, and I want you to unload your electrical components. And then let's make sure they can do this. So he's going to RevTac. Oh wait, let's see. Did we make sure we got that right? This is, yeah, rail cargo station. Yeah. So then can he get, ooh, that might be a problem. Yeah, that is definitely a bit of a problem. I think what I may do is send him all the way down to GW distribution and then go to MB distribution and then come back to this stop, which is just because he's not going to be able to turn around, and Lord knows what kind of a loop he's going to take to try to do it. So while it might be easier to make it so he can turn around, in the future I plan on having a separate train, but we're just not making enough electronic components for today to worry about that. So let's get rid of this stop, right? Yep, RevTac distribution. And then we'll open this one, and then is this where we have? No, that's electronics. It's number 4. Yeah. Oh, no. You know what? It's over here. Yeah, so it's this one. Yep. Which goes to here. Good. Glad I checked. All right, so now let's add a new stop for him to go to there last, which it really isn't the end of the world. But what I would like him to do is, let's go see what he's doing right now. Where are you at and where are you going? You are going... Oh, why do I have time? Oh, I paused time again for the recording. So why are you going that way? You know what? I don't know if you figured out a way, but can you... Actually, can you go to this waypoint for me? Like, I'd like to get these dropped off. Yeah, we'll keep him open and closed, if that makes sense, or shrunk, minimized, just to make sure he is coming and to remind us to check that he's coming. So there we go. So there's number 2, well, 3 in a sense, but number 2 train set up. So the next one, I think, is, yes, mechanical components, and we should have a mechanical components train, I believe. If not, we are going to purchase one. Oh, there it is. Yep, and you are going to go, yeah, see, when you come out of here, you can only go that way. So if you go to GW distribution, yeah, there's going to be some running around here. I think we might want to do the same thing. I want this, I don't mind that he goes throughout his route, but I don't want him, for a little while at least, I don't want him to go to there. If he comes up to, yeah, MB distribution, nah, see, the problem is, you know what, when you leave, oh, I know what we can do. This is Electronville Warehouse, which is right over here. Oh no, what is that? Is that really Electronville? Why is that called Electronville Warehouse? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Electronville Warehouse. That's how you go view it. I really just confused myself. So he's coming up to here to drop stuff off. So actually, right after he goes to here would probably be a decent time. And we're not using that many mechanical components as a general statement. And we could even put things on purchase. Then come up to this waypoint, and then come, let's move it down, to that train station and unload mechanical components. Now, one thing I just got questioning. Make sure RevTac, yeah, say unload. You know, eventually, again, like I said, when we ramp everything up and it's all good, we'll come back and we'll, yeah, there we go. Wanted to make sure I set that up, I think, right, where we're unloading, and we don't want to wait. Good. So I think we're in okay shape. And this guy should be leaving on a trip pretty shortly, so we won't mess with him. And we'll shrink this guy. Well, let's go look at him. Is he... He's just, okay. He scared me because he wasn't moving. But he's on his way back. There's no reason, yeah, no reason he shouldn't make it the rest of the way. Okay, so what else do we need? Well, we don't really need electronics at all, do we? Because, again, as far as I know, none of the vehicles are going to be electronified. So what I did was, and I think I kind of made a mistake, because I think I would like to try to use these bigger vehicles here. But I want to set at least one truck up to see if it can't start filling up these. So the question is, which one of these do we want to get going? And I would probably say, let's get this one going first. So what we have here is, with each of them, a steel open or storage yard for steel. Then I have like plastics and fabric together, just because, I don't know, they're the things that are made with chemicals, at least in part. So what I would like to do is set up, like, say, a fabric, well, not the fabric, plastics truck. So this guy's already on plastics, confusingly. Which one is our, it's electrical components, fabric. I don't think I have one for plastics. How did I manage that? And we definitely need plastics, right? Let's go check. So if we were to say licensing, yeah, no, we definitely need plastics. That's why we check all these things. So how did I manage to, I don't know, I guess we could do, why don't we do electronics and mechanical components together? So I'm just going to put that on there as a reminder. Let's up this back up a bit. But we're not going to actually drop off any electronics. And then we'll take this last one, since we haven't set it up at all anyway, this train station. And we will, let's shrink that down. And we'll do 50% plastics. And again, if these numbers don't work out, that's okay. We can always change them. There we go. So there's definitely a different volume to things. Because look, 50% is 56 tons. Crops 180 tons. So there we go. So now that means we need to think about a train coming up here for plastics, of course. But in the meantime, I can do, I want you to go to here, here. Oh, that's not going to work that way. Yeah, let's go slower. It doesn't jump down the next rung, right? So let's delete that. So this is, yeah, that is that one. I thought I hit escape, but nothing happened. So then I want you to come to here. Let's delete this one. And at this point, I don't want them to wait. I just want, once we get plastics in this train station, I want them to keep going. And we'll do this one. Keeps giving me load, even though I'd rather have unload. And then this one. And then start. So now what I'll do, and again, just for the sake of video, I know we're already a half hour into it, and I'd like, oh, what do we got here? Da-da-da. Not that one. So this is our electrical components. Pretty much going to clean him out, but that's fine. We'll get this filled up, and we'll get an electronics component truck. So let me, because this is so exciting, let me pause it here. And I will be back in a minute. There we go. So each of those now has one vehicle associated with it. And that should be enough again to get us started. We'll see how it goes. And they should be filling up these warehouses first. You can see a couple of them sitting there waiting. And one of the reasons this guy's waiting is we need to go find our plastics train. And let's go look at our plastics factory is probably the best way to find said plastics train. Yes, so all related vehicles. Yeah, what are you doing? See, he only had one thing to do before. So I guess now he's going to have two, isn't he? And is it better, does it make a difference? Yeah, I think I would have him go, because he can only come out. Well, I guess it doesn't make too much difference, does it? No, actually, it doesn't make too much difference. Either way, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Here's what I'm thinking. He can only come out of here and go this way. So if he goes, I'd just as soon keep the electronics going in this case first. But I don't want him to wait to unload. And then I've kind of lost track of which waypoints I'm using, maybe. Should have paid more attention until we have a train sitting there. So this is plastics. I don't know. I guess what I'll do is say that like this track goes to this one. In each case, this one goes to this one. So let's select this. Yeah, Electronville warehouse. Go unload an Electronville warehouse. Come to this waypoint and then come to. I did it wrong. So come to this waypoint and then come to this station and unload. Oops. Plastics. And then I want you to head to this waypoint immediately. Can I send you there? Interesting. So you can't send them to a waypoint, which is fine. I'm assuming they will find that waypoint. Now, it's without actually. Let's see, how many trains do we have coming in here? So this guy, can I? Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell which waypoint is which. if we have problems, and I guess I'll have to see then, like there's, because I can't really tell if I set them to the right. There we go. He's on his way too. So we should have mechanical components coming up here. Yeah, I guess I really should have paid a lot more attention. Now this guy, this way I can tell because it's going to be two different trains. And right now we only have the steel train. So what do we not have? Fabric. That's right. So we're not going to have a fabric train. Now I could possibly purchase fabric here, but yeah, I'm not going to. Now there was another note that says you can't, I don't know, on the update notes, can't purchase resources using, oh wait. What did it say on that? I don't have it open anymore. I should open it. Let me open it again while we go do something else while it's opening. I looked on the Discord for the game updates, and here, there we go. There it is. Cannot purchase products directly into the cargo station. Okay, so you can't purchase into there. I don't care. Though I guess that would have been convenient, but I can understand if they want you to use these buildings as opposed to purchase it directly into there. It is sort of, I guess you could call that cheaty, or taking advantage of a game mechanic, since I don't think they intended this to be an actual warehouse. All right. So anyway, I'm sure someone's upset by that, but not me, because I've always set it up like this anyhow. So more for storage and buffer. All right. Well, there we go. So let's talk about the vehicles we're going to produce and what we're going to do with them. Nino had a comment not too long ago about, well, you didn't set up any parking lots. Yeah, I know. And it's really because most of the cities were designed without parking and that kind of thing in mind. Like they were designed before we even had the ability to make cars. Even though I know it was an option, it just wasn't something I ever did. Like there was an option to buy personal cars, but I never did it. Now, something to mention here is that I have accidentally purchased the little bus here. I don't know. I was click happy and I clicked on it, but I don't plan on making that bus in our very first. I think we should make some kind of a car. So let's go to personal cars. And I think we could choose the color of at least certain cars. Now, I have no idea why you would pick one over the others. Like this one's more expensive, but this one's faster. Okay, they might have different passenger. Nah, I'm really not that familiar with all the cars. Why wouldn't you pick this one? Is it because, like this one's cheaper than that one? Is it just because you like the looks and they couldn't make them all the same price? Because that would, well, these are even faster. I'm not sure if there's a massive difference with their speed, because I just don't think there is, but look, 150. Why don't we get them a fast car? I don't think the money difference is that significant, but I want to get them a red car. So we're going to get, let's just see, that one's slower. 105. Let's get them one that goes 145 kilometers an hour. That way there's no excuse for being late to work, right? And I guess, I don't think we can choose the color if we don't have the spray paint thing. But it's red, Soviet red at that point. All right, so now this, I did check. It's not just purchased for this one factory, though. Most of you guys probably already know that. I'm doing a little catch up today. So select to manufacture this. Okay, now the problem is we need to get some people. So let's go over to, I think we're actually better off maybe going to this train station because it gets us onto the main loop, which I think will be easier. So what I'm thinking of is eventually, and we might as well do it now, get 3 train sets. One to go to each of our train stations, and then we can decide how to divide them up as time goes on. Now, I don't know if I'm going to institute all of them at this minute, but I do want to get the train set, this one. I'm not sure why that one's so much more. I don't think the extra speed does us that much good. And I just as soon have the one that carries the most people. So I'm going to buy 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And then let's just get one going for now. And I'm going to shrink that. Hopefully that doesn't annoy anyone. And then let's head over here and see what's the best thing. So the idea is that I have 3 train stations in here. Right, 1, 2, 3. So I would like to get it to where they're picking up people. Now, yeah, I turned off workers. So let's turn workers on to this one, because I think we should have plenty of people that would come to here. We might want to put in some more footpaths. And then at this point, we'll just take them to this train station. So what I think I would do, if you look, this train station could go to either one of these two. This one can go to either one of these two. It would be close enough. So what I'm thinking of doing is just having 2 trains come to here and then 1 come to here. And that's another thing. Yeah, you know what? Let's use another one of the waypoints. All right, so we'll do 2 waypoints actually. And I do need to do some signaling around here, don't I? All right, so there's 2 waypoints. Let's do, yeah, this is going to be in right-hand rule. So this will be a chain signal. This will be one way this way. Oop, okay. One way this way. Yeah, these should be relatively short, though I don't really see any. Right, and then this could be like, oh, what happened? Did I miss? Yeah, so really, well, I don't know. We'll leave that signaling there, but I'll put another signal here just because I can. Yeah, I don't think I really need all this signaling, at least not until we get more trains on the route. So we'll kind of cut down on it on this side. So this is going to be chain in, regular out, and yeah, you might as well put. Now we can use this nice long stretch of track to space things out. Though at this point I'm not too worried because we don't have too many trains. Yeah, let's get the signaling done in here. So since we already have the regular out, I want to leave that. They're really not coming this way, so I'm just going to ignore that. And this would be a regular out. Yep, so this would be an in. This would be an in that way. Let's go backwards. Yeah, see, I started to set these up, but realized I couldn't. But I do have the right type of signal. And at this point, that should work fine. We might, if we get more train, well, we don't really want them backing up anyway, right? So we don't have a ton of signaling in here, but we're only going to have 1 train coming to each of these stations. So I don't anticipate needing more signaling than at the ends. I'm not sure why I didn't put one of these here earlier. Could have been because when I was going around doing this, I didn't have all the electric track finished, and I didn't want to break up the thing and then cause problems. So yeah, trains are going to be coming. Did I do this backwards? No, this one's backwards, sort of. Because this should be. These should be chains, and this should be a regular. And then yeah, this should be a chain, and these 2 should be regular. Then we should be good. All right, so let's start this guy, and let's see what happens. It'll be a little ways to get here. All right, so how are we doing? Well, we got some electronic components, some mechanical components. Good. it'll be a while before we get another load, so I'm not too worried about... There we go, we got some steel. Like to let all this happen el natural, right? So these guys will waste a little bit of time going to the other stops, which I guess we could really consider. I want to get this ramped up if we can. I don't know how much of a draw on our resources it's going to be. For example, we're not making enough steel. I'm sure we could always, and I just don't see myself prioritizing making cars so much that I would not want to do more construction over there to ramp up our steel, right? Like at least until we get Nueve Revergrad with more and more people to where we feel like we're just making plenty of steel to do our construction, and we'll just kind of keep our car production slow. And I guess we should probably do this, even though I'm not sure how necessary it is. Now that we're keeping track too, or it's fresh in our minds, what I'm thinking of is let's go ahead and at least set up these two. It doesn't matter which one is which, but what I want to do is say, okay, you are going to come to here, and then I don't know if that'll mess us up for some other reason, and then you will go to this waypoint. Oh, I didn't do a waypoint here, did I? Yeah, you will go to this waypoint, right? So that way it forces them onto this track so they don't try to go on this one. All right, so let's not mess this guy up. So this guy, after he goes to that waypoint, will go to this station and come back out. There, so this guy, we're not waiting anywhere, but we'll just shrink this guy down, maybe stick him up over here. Let's move this guy down. I just want to keep an eye on his progress. And then this one will go to our third train station, hopefully. And then he will go to this waypoint. Oh, let's select that. And then he will go to this train station. Move him up so I can see. And he would just take, just in case we ever switch to these, definitely could see that we might switch these train stations to be able to take passengers. I mean, at least it's a possibility. So there we go. So that's sort of, well, let's do it like this, right? 1, 2, 3. So we'll start them up in that order. Just now, are we getting people here? No, not really. Let's, because they're all assigned to go to town bus stop because, yeah, so I think I want to at least take them off of going to town bus stop, even if I don't. Even if I don't specify. Everybody over here, you know, unspecified, fine. But eventually we might specify. Yeah, those guys I think I might leave on town bus stop, but we really don't need... No, you know what? I'm not even going to. Because though we need people at town bus stop, it's not in any way urgent with all the different people that we have over here. We have quite a few. So, yeah, we're already getting people waiting there for work, but we'll just... I think I'll just bite the bullet for a minute until we actually see... So this guy, does he have everything but electronics? He should be ready to make a car as soon as we get some people up here. So how are we doing with that? Da-da-da. Okay, so now that we have a minute before we get some people up here, and not even much of a minute, my plan as a general statement, and we do have a parking lot, and we do have a car dealership somewhere over here. There it is. So we'll need, so I want to start out over here, and then I also have this distribution. So the biggest thing that I can see these guys being beneficial to doing is getting people specifically to the concrete plant and the asphalt plant in areas, because Yeah, it's just sort of a waste to bring a bus out here all the time, and people, just something that I think we could do in each town as far as getting people that would make sense, especially until I know more about it. So let me come over to here, and I want you to construct this, and why don't you help him? I do want to also see. There we go. So we'll have so the first plan will be to do this a little bit in Old Revergrad. Sorry. Now, Old Revergrad, I plan on redoing if you guys have followed the other episodes. So I would like to increase this more, maybe get people to the radio station better, but I also want to build this out a bit as well. But when we do, we'll definitely give more thought to people and cars, especially for little things like this, like getting people out to the... Like, I'm hoping that this can get more people out to the rail cargo's construction office. Like, I want to see what the max is, because this is a pretty normal setup that's kind of awkward to bus people to, especially this rail construction office. And even, well, the construction office needs to just go get people, so that's a little bit different, but we'll see. And then is there, like, I definitely could see where maybe we would still have buses going to Vodka, but I don't see why we couldn't potentially put in a couple parking lots over here somewhere. So let's go take a look at this. Where up? Is he leaving? Yes, he is. Did he drop people off? Or no, he's just coming in. I think he's just... Oh, wait a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he went the right way. Yep, you should. Yep, I don't think he went to the other one yet, but let's see. We can tell. No, well, if he did, he didn't pick up any people. Now, do we have people? I think I'm at the wrong place. Yeah, there's really not much difference between these people. Well, 49, not overly impressive, but it should get us enough to start making a car. And then probably want to start the second guy up. And then as this gets started, we should consider how we want to get... Do we really want to get trains into here? I don't think just yet. I think we'd be, in a sense, a little bit better off just buying an open haul. Like, even though I know that will quickly become outdated, it's not like we probably can't use... Or do we just want to grab an open haul that we already have? No, we have enough money. We're not. Why be cheap about it? So let me just buy an open haul. These covered hauls I drug up here from other places. And we'll get the biggest and baddest KMZ 5410. Always your best option. Unless you just don't like it, or you don't like the looks of it. Alright, so I want you... just to come right into here and pick up autos and wait. And then I want you to come all the way down here to our one car dealership. And I want you to unload autos. And you can start. Let's zoom back up to wherever you're at so we can... Okay, do we have people in here now? Where is our train? Here comes our train. This is a long time coming. I feel like having a party after the episode. Yep, he went onto the right track. So again, like that's just... The other track will just be used for like a bypass. Now, of course, we can always have one stop at both if we wanted to. But there comes our people. Da-da-da. Oh, wait. Shoot. Yeah, for now, just send everybody over to this one. Oops. Well, that's why we do these things slowly, right? So there we go. So we should be making... Yeah, I see things moving around here anyway. I'm not sure... Oh, there it is. Yep, we are making a car. Not exactly the fastest car making. So let's come over here. And I don't know why I left that open. And this train is proven to work. So this guy, let's see, which one are you? Yeah, this one. Let's start him out. He's coming from all the way over there. Then the other train, yeah, we really need a lot more stuff up here to get our queue of stuff filled, so to speak. In other words, we need many more loads of stuff and things to get. Look, we don't have like any plastics left in here, and I didn't want to overfill this. Let's talk about one thing, kind of as we let it run for a minute and actually see a car come out. Now, how is our plastics doing? Where is our plastics train? So he's heading over to the Electronville warehouse with 48 tons. Is he on weight here? Yeah, he is. I don't understand quite why he would only have 48 tons. Now, what are you doing? Do we have him on weight? Yeah, don't wait there anymore. Okay, so he had 48 tons because he was already there. I didn't expect him to be sitting there waiting. There you go. Good. Answers that question. So he'll just keep making his loop, which is fine. And it just will be a matter of fine-tuning at that point and increasing. But the thing I wanted to mention, so let's assume, we changed this guy. You know what, we changed this guy. Yeah, I don't really want to start him. He's just going to waste electricity until we ramp this thing up more. By the way, I did stop building more houses over here because I really don't know that we're going to have enough materials. I think we're going to have enough people, but at the same time, I just don't think we're going to have enough materials, especially with the steel, to really ramp up car production. So there's no point in draining out all the people. We only have 375, and it was down to 0 at one point, plus 21s. So I want those guys to go over to here, which, speaking of which, I've spent a lot of time not assigning things. I definitely want to I need to get this road completed because I need to be able to finish at least some of these tracks. Though I guess that bypass thing may work pretty well too, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think the tracks are going to be our biggest holdup. We're getting close to the end of the episode here, so I won't do too much of this. But yeah, I definitely want to at least get that one assigned. And other than that, do we have power here yet? Yes, we do. Does it actually have power? Good. So good. So with everything we power up over here, we should have power, I think. Unless there's something I'm missing. Which I didn't think I missed anything. So we could probably, this guy's he's gonna get things done kind of quick. Oops. Let's ascend. Why is that? Okay, because it's that one. Yeah, why don't you go to this one, which actually brings them in on the right-hand track, or the left-hand, this right-hand track. We'll have you work on that one. Yeah, we still don't have many prefab panels. Well, it's probably because they just started out, but if you remember from the very beginning, those prefab panels were an issue. Okay, let's get over here. I want to see this car. No, we still haven't made a car, but we're getting awful close. Getting very, very close. And I forgot what I was going to tell you guys about before the end of the episode. It can't be that important, but I'll probably remember a second after I do it. So again, we're not reducing them at an amazing clip, but we should be getting more people over here. And we were talking about the population and getting, I want to use that extra population to go over there to Neuve Revergrad and get our steel ramped up. There we go. We made a car. So it'll be a little while. Why don't I pause until we can, just for the sake of it, I'll come back for a couple minutes, but let me let this truck fill up with vehicles, and then we can see it take its first official load. Maybe we'll follow it down there all the way to Old Revergrad, and we'll actually sell some vehicles. And then when we come back in the next episode, we'll worry about whatever it is I was going to say. Maybe I'll think of it in a minute while I'm sitting here dwelling on whether this truck is going to take a half hour to fill up or not. All right, guys, I'll see you in a minute. We have an emergency. Apparently, we have hit our electric limit. I noticed that the electrical symbol came on here, but I also noticed we have no money. So let's see. Probably the reason, and I paused time just so we could real quick figure out what this is. Yeah, we were importing here, so I don't think we can import. Well, I know we can't unless we increase our imports. We were holding our own. I did kind of do this deliberately. Now, what are we doing here? We're importing as much as we can. Uh-oh. That is not a real good thing. So now let's just come over here and take a look. Yeah, well, let's start time for the sake of it. Yeah, I think we just don't have enough electrical lines. We don't have a good enough of an electrical system to really get the electricity all the way over here. Now the trains are still running, but it's just, it's really truly is a hodgepodge of stuff, right? So we do have I think the thing to maybe do is get something, if we can, exporting. We went down on our power pretty quickly, but then I can't really say I paid much attention, but I don't think it was too long ago we had power there. Let's come over to here and see. Yeah, we're full of this, and we're not full of that. Let's take a look at these two trains. Yeah, that guy's going to Molna. This guy's going to Molna. Why don't we switch these two? We can close this. Why don't we switch these two to going to Importska when they get done? Unload. Yeah, anything. Delete Molna. Delete Molna. Unload anything. All right, so that should get us. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to just send. Well, where is this guy? I don't want to make sure I send him down the bad path. Where is he at now? Yeah, he can make his way over there. So why don't you just go right to Importska for now. And where are you at? You are heading back to Oil Chaw with nothing left in you because you just sold at the other place, so you might as well. And we don't have that much. If you look, we don't have that much extra bitumen, so I don't want to. I don't necessarily need to rush his thing, but getting the other guy out will be good just because we've got plenty of fuel here, right? So we'll get him going over there, and hopefully we'll get some dollars. And we may have to obviously take a look at that between the episodes. Is anything else really suffering? And I'm assuming, why does that say? Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be any reason. Let's take a look at this before we panic too much. No power. We didn't do something stupid, right? I have been known to do that at times in my life. Yep, no power. Yeah, it's a little, yeah, I guess if we're not importing. So what that does is that greatly increases my desire to increase our coal output. Now let's see, we do have another coal power plant. Is there a problem there? Over here. No, we're producing that. Are we producing, you know, within the bounds of reason? Yes. So we really need to get another power plant. And we were plugging away over towards Bricksville, slowly but surely, but I didn't stop them from, if they wanted to construct this bridge, I did stop it. So let's hit continue construction, because that just went up greatly in the priority list. And I don't think it'll be a big priority, but that's going to be a pretty massive bridge building project as it is. But we can get that built. And then we could probably, I think in between the episodes, maybe I'll think about where else we could build another power plant. One of the reasons for having this coal loop is that we could have, it's really as much about powering up power plants around the map. And it definitely seems like we could use another power plant over this way. You know, not too close to, maybe that's something else for the people of Revergrad to do. I don't think there's any coal over here. And by the way, before I even stopped the thing, I did remember what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, is there any, I think there might be coal over this way. Yeah, nothing screaming at me like, put me here. Yeah, so we'll see. I think that, let's just see. Okay, there we go. We got some money coming in. Does that fix our problem? And the other thing is, yeah, let's see. Let's go back over to here before we see if it fixes our problem. I don't remember turning that down. You know what? Let's just put it all the way up. I don't know. Well, we're doing 3.2 watts. Now, again, I don't know that our money's going to last very long. And are we just stretching it out where we just don't have enough power lines over here? Because we just have one that's coming from here. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to deal with that in the next episode. So we will try to fix our power problems. Yeah, are we using, how much is going through here? It's only 2, so I'm a little bit confused why we're having this power issue. Is it just a coincidence that this happened when I ran out of dollars? I don't think it would be. Oh, wait. I put in these roads. I mean, I put in these. Can I tell you to go back to the depot? I wonder if it's because I put in these footpaths and it broke up the thing. Let's see if we can't fix that. Oh, there you go. Look, that just reset it. So I think it was coincidence. So maybe we don't have such a power, but I did run out of all our dollars. So I'm thinking that was, I don't know why we would have run out of all of our dollars. Import bricks. Why are we importing fuel? No, export. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of gravel, which is probably, because I auto-purchased those paths. Power now. But I don't know, last month we didn't, I just ran out of dollars for some reason. Oh, did I buy, maybe I bought, I'll have to go back to look at the video. Maybe I bought stuff here. But let's come back in the next video. I think I just panicked myself over a lot of nothing. And this truck hasn't left yet. But we will come back right to here in the beginning of next episodes with hardly any time played forward. And we will talk about the power thing, and we will talk about that thing I forgot to tell you about, which is more or less the plan of updating more mechanical components. Plasticton, do you see where this is going with getting these components over to here? So we'll have like Electronville to get electronic components, and even electronics if we actually ever need them for a vehicle. But we would have more plastic produced here. We would have more mechanical components, all of which can be fed in relatively easily and closely to our manufacturing. And then the reason, because we have the corn loop, which is, and the fabric is so dependent on the corn, that's the only reason the fabric's down here, is that I figured, well, let's put all the corn stuff here, but this would be the fabric that we would need for the cars coming out of here. So I will, if I play any time forward, it'll be very minimal, just to test a couple things so I know what I'm saying in the beginning of the next episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day and take care. Bye-bye.